You're gonna sell my house. I can't hear the game.
Huh?
You're too loud. I can't hear the game.
What do you mean I'm too loud? How can I be too loud?
It's good.
Literally being normal volume. You're too loud. I can't hear the game.
Well, when you're doing
Sounds
ba ba
fine.
ba 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 ba.
But Fine, whatever.
Alright. Hello, people. It's us, TBGN. I'm your host, Younger Bro.
I'm your host, Older Bro.
And we're back with some Shiny hunting for some Scorbunny.
I thought you were gonna say. I think you said school bunny for a second. I'm like,
yeah. We're going back to school. I mean, I did play Kahoot today, and I haven't played that in years.
That's not problem here.
Yeah, a lot of people use Kahoot in school nowadays. Let us know in the comments if you have done Kahoot.
No. See, the bigger problem here isn't about Kahoot. That's whatever. The bigger problem here is that you called them a school bunny. Don't say that.
I didn't call him a school bunny. You brought that up. I
Yeah.
called it a Scorbunny.
That's fair.
You know what? I guess you're right.
Still, to the audience, don't say that. Never say that.
You're a school bunny.
No. That sounds so fucking weird.
Is that why you have the ears? Yes.
Just no.
All you're missing
there are
is the
many
cotton
things
tail.
there's-
Oh, am I?
There's many things I would rather do right now.
Then listen to this. Some of which include killing Younger Bro.
Well, unfortunately, you've decided to do a YouTube channel with me, so you have to hear the crazy.
That is true, I do. Yeah. Somebody was asking me that question the other day.
Oh.
Or, sorry, not the other day. It's been quite a while now. But somebody was like jokingly asking that question of the question of, well, if schools, like if the government has to accept, and apologies if this sounds political, it's not intended to be. It's just intended to be a joke. But the person was saying like, well, if schools have to like accept your gender identity, does that mean they have to accept if you say you're a furry and dress as a furry and go into school as a furry? And I'm like, I don't want to answer that question. Please, next question.
Here's the thing. I don't even know anyone who is a furry, so... Like, the closest friend that I had to them dressing up in something every day was our friend that couldn't play with us one day, that guy.
I'm just saying, if you told kids that they got to wear bunny ears and bunny tails at school all the time, and the teachers had to accept it, and the other students had to accept it, there's at least one kid that do that.
Like, here's the thing. I understand the whole point of a dress code, and I understand that there are a lot of inappropriate things, but if it's not inappropriate, then you shouldn't ban it.
I think it's just going to lead to schools being like, fuck it, we don't care. You're wearing this uniform.
Well, they have. They had mandated uniforms, and then they didn't.
Yeah.
Because everybody hated it.
Yeah. Well, it's like
Everyone was unhappy.
Yeah.
So,
everyone was unhappy with it. And it's like,
Yeah, but you don't understand how unhappy we have to be when we have to start deciding what clothes you can wear that isn't this dress code. When we have to say, I'm sorry, Sally, but you cannot wear bunny ears into school. And then we have to hear the parents, and all the parents complaining that we didn't let their child wear what they wanted. Whether because some other kid's parents complained that it was inappropriate. And then we have to have a meeting. And then we have to listen to two parents argue it out, and everyone's just pissed off.
yeah, here's the thing.
So your kid can deal.
Like,
I will speak for the school administrators.
Like, the big thing at my school...
Yeah.
So they allowed us to wear anything except hats.
yes.
We were not allowed to wear hats. I don't know the whole thing about the hats.
Probably
I
people
think it's
hiding stuff in hats.
not necessarily that. It's just I think if I remember my conversation with a janitor I knew really well. The conversation was, well, they don't allow hats because they can't see their faces on camera. And I'm like, okay, why
That's
don't they
fair.
just turn it around? He's like, well, if you know a friend who wears hats, you should probably tell him that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I actually did know a friend who wore hats and knew he didn't, and knew he couldn't. And so I told him, yeah, so, I like you and I don't want you to be, like, hurt in any way by the school, but can you wear your hat backwards? He's like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
So that's the most he would do. And
Yep.
yeah, he did. He started wearing his hat backwards.
Yep.
So. Whee. But
And if
yeah.
you're sitting out there wondering why does that school have to wear or have cameras, then where have you been for the last 30 years?
I thought all schools had cameras.
No.
What? Really?
I mean, nowadays they probably do, but
Every school I went to had cameras.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yep. Because of the last 30 years of history.
Well, I was in kindergarten and they had cameras.
because of the last 30 years of history.
I guess. Well, I mean, I'm within the last 30 because I'm 20, so. Like, it was all because of Columbine, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. And nowadays, I think it's getting worse from what I hear.
Yeah.
Like, when I was at high school, they found, like, 5, 7 guns in school. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I guess it's only been 23 years of history.
Still
1 year off.
Still fine.
But
You were not going to kindergarten at the age of 1.
no.
So,
Still
A little bit off. But yeah, like, I have seen 2 fights, and one of them was very, very bloody. Like, very bloody. I had to literally back up girl I like and one of my good friends, because I'm like, they're gonna duke it out. Stay back. Because I was watching them argue, and I saw my friends coming out. I'm like, no. It was so hard to watch. Like, I literally watched it. I didn't know what to do. And, like, the closest security guard was past them, and I couldn't get past them. Like, they were banging each other against the lockers.
yeah.
Like, that's how bad the brawl was. And I knew one of the guys fighting. He was kind of a troublemaker. Like, not a totally bad guy, but there's a reason why I didn't hang around him anymore. Because he just likes to start things with people. And I think the reason I stopped hanging around him was he was trying to get me mad at him on purpose.
Yeah. Finally, after the last stream, when I was trying so hard to find that quote, I finally found the full text of the "Some men just want to watch the world burn" tweet or speech. Unfortunately, I've completely forgotten the context because I just remember I was going to change the end of it, and now I can't remember why. So, but I guess I found it. Right.
Yeah, the other fight I witnessed was in the cafeteria, and me and girl I like were sitting next to each other, and we watched someone pull out brass knuckles from their pocket and just deck a kid in the face.
Yep.
He escaped, but I think they found him like a couple hours later.
Well, when you go to a school, it's kind of hard to have anonymity given that they have records of who you are. So it's like there's a very small pool of people.
Hey, Mr. B.
Oh, that's cool, Mr. B. Which restaurant is the Beyond Burger from?
From the Beyonder.
Like, I don't remember which ones are which.
I can't believe it's not burger with real burger.
It's that.
I'm purposely misquoting something.
I don't know, they were frozen. Oh, okay. Planty, yeah. That's valid. That's like saying it's I can't believe it's not butter made with real butter. It's like, but it is real butter. What? By the way, if you are the creators of I can't believe it's not butter, please don't make real butter products because I don't want to see an I can't believe it's not butter real butter product. It will confuse everyone.
For all we know, they might have.
No, they can't have done that. If they've done that, everyone would be so confused. Like, but am I buying the one that isn't butter or am I buying the one that is butter?
Butter.
I just don't want them to make other things. Shabby, what are you talking about?
I X'd off the string. Good job. My little buttercup, sweet little buttercup, I love you. That song was actually really hard to find.
Oh, I can't believe it's not deodorant, or I can't believe it's not hot dogs.
Sorry, can't believe it's not dog food. I mean, to be fair, Mr. B, that exists. There is, like, human, edible dog treats. So, I can't believe it's not dog treats exists.
Yeah, like isn't there an orange candy that looks like a bone that's...
Something like that.
Yeah.
Also, since I grew up in the 2000s and kept seeing the stupid Bacon Strips commercial, they have I can't believe it's not bacon already.
Screw me. Again, guys, we're only going for 2 hours today.
Yeah, only 2 hours.
Until older bro can stop focusing on his work and get back to the real work.
I've tried Bacon Strips. Why would you try Bacon Strips?
Here's the thing.
Like, Mr. B, just eat real bacon.
Here's the thing. Is dog treats poisonous to humans?
No, it's just you wouldn't... Oh, okay. I don't think any of them are poisonous. They're just not... They're not something you want to
ingest, yeah.
I was a child and I was stupid. Okay, that's fair. Sorry, I thought you were saying that you've done this in like the last 5 years or something. Like, I was like, oh, what? But okay, that makes sense.
This is stream 10, right?
This is the 10th stream, so
Yep.
next stream will be a different Pokemon.
Yep, guys, we're switching back to Snom after this stream. Even though it's only 2 hours and maybe I should go till 15, but no.
No.
Dun, 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 dun. Again, we have found Shiny Reboot within 600 eggs, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'll get the same luck again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd have to get it now, and I don't think I will. Because I'm still pretty certain that the starters in this game are some of the hardest hunts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think that's only because that they're the starter Pokemon, you can only egg hunt them.
Yeah.
I think I only got 2, right? Did I accidentally double tap? No. Okay. Whee. Yeah, guys, we hope you're enjoying the SpongeBob playthrough that came out today. Finally doing another Nickelodeon game. We haven't done one since Barnyard. I do kind of want to play through Barnyard again, but... Like, guys, I searched. There are no other Barnyard games. They don't exist. They only had one. If we can get a Barnyard remastered, oh, fuck yes. I would play it day of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, earlier today I was discussing the possibilities of Battle Bikini Bottom 2. Do you think it's likely?
Say again?
Battle...
the next game will be Battle Bikini Bottom 2?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we got Rehydrated and it sold over 2 million copies.
Who knows?
Like, everybody loves Battle Bikini Bottom
Well, here's
1.
the problem. One of the questions I don't know the answer to is a lot of the games that they've done so far have been remasters.
Wait, the current...
Like I'm saying, but Battle Bikini Bottom was a remake of the original game.
Yes.
But the question, so they made that game because they also made, didn't they also make the original Battle for Bikini Bottom?
They made the original Battle Bikini Bottom.
So the thing is, they clearly have the license for that game. The question is, do they have the license for SpongeBob generally? Because they might only be able to make that game. They might not be able to make a new game. So,
I mean, they got the license to make another 2. They made another 2. They did the movie game that we're playing, and they did Atlantis Squarepantis.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is the guys who made Rehydrate,
they might only be able to make remakes of those existing games that already exist. They might not be able to make new games. Unclear.
I don't know. I'd say they could maybe afford it because everyone loves Battle Bikini Bottom.
Well, yeah, but the problem is that
And
everyone loves SpongeBob, and that means the license is extremely expensive.
When is Ninja Turtles? The arcade one?
Or are you talking about TMNT? Which was the speedrun game. But anyways, I actually think they got a different studio to help them with Rehydrated. Pretty sure. I think I heard something about that today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it wasn't. What are they called? I think they're called Heavy Iron Studios. Pretty sure. Okay, I'm turning on the air conditioner.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's actually decently hot in here. We'll think about it, Mr. B. We'll think about it.
Wait, was it the Revenge of Shredder game?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shredder's Revenge. Yeah, we'd probably play it, or at least I will. I haven't personally played it. I've seen playthroughs of it. I've seen it advertised. I am interested in it. But yeah, I've played 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. I played the TMNT game, which, even though it's a speedrun game and I didn't realize that growing up, it's really good. I like TMNT. And the only other one I did was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash game that I can't remember the name of. It wasn't necessarily Smash, but it was like Smash. Sorry, guys, I'm looking it up because I want to remember it. It was TMNT. Hang on, where was it? No, I don't want to see the shopping images. I want. Here it is. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash Up. I played that one. And that was a decent game as well. But yeah, I have looked for a lot of articles on Battle Bikini Bottom 2. Everybody thinks it could happen because of the success of Battle Bikini Bottom. Because out of, like, what is the first SpongeBob game you think of? Like, like the first one I think of is Battle Bikini Bottom, then it'd be the movie, then it'd be Atlantis Squarepantis, and then it'd be Cook-Off.
I don't know. gotta admit, I have no clue.
My knowledge of SpongeBob is very little, and my naming knowledge even less so.
But
No clue.
but SpongeBob Battle Bikini Bottom is so big, you've at least heard of it.
I mean, I've heard of it. Like, I've seen it vaguely, but, like... Yeah. I
But-
know very little about it otherwise.
But it's like when it comes to gaming, Battle Bikini Bottom is the first SpongeBob game you think of. I don't count
Yeah.
the Nicktoons games because it's not only SpongeBob.
It's like counting. That's like counting like all the mobile or the web Adventure Time apps and Steven Universe apps. It's like those don't really count as games that people think of immediately.
Well, SpongeBob Moves In was a pretty big one,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that got delisted. But I'm not sure. I think
Yeah.
so. I think you told me recently that it did, and that was a decent SpongeBob game. But I can't think of a lot of other mobile SpongeBob games. And I play a lot of mobile games.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, can't think of any. But yeah, I can't wait for the day if and when they make Battle Bikini Bottom 2. Like that it's probably within like my top 20 games I want to see get a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least the next game in its franchise. Like another big game for me that I want to see continue is Last of Us 3. Like, I would love to see Last of Us 3. We finally got 2. And a third game would just be great. Like, I've played a little bit of Last of Us 1 and 2, and they're decent games, like, but the gameplay is not really what I love about it. It's the story. Oh man, story's so good. Yeah, what is a game you would like to see a sequel?
We're talking a sequel, not a remake. but
A sequel
an
or
actual sequel.
continuation?
See, okay.
Okay, never mind. I know it's probably Banjo and Kazooie.
I didn't grow up with Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, really?
A lot of people would say Banjo-Kazooie. I'm not one of them because I didn't grow up with it. The obvious answers are Drill Dozer and Mega Man Star Force, but I don't know if those are the answers I want to give. Scooby-Doo has sequels, but none of them are really related to
Night of 100
Night of
Frights.
100 Frights or anything like that. It's just like I don't. Yeah, so those that doesn't really count. That franchise has plenty of games. We're already getting River City Girls 2.
Yeah.
And I hope they make some of the changes that will make the game a little bit more fun to play.
Hold on, let me think.
Yeah. I think Night of 100 Frights will get a SpongeBob thing where it's gonna be remastered first and then get a sequel. I think I hope that Bug Fables is guaranteed to have a sequel. Like, I'm going to own what you have right now for Bug Fables at some point.
Professor Layton, obviously.
Well, didn't Professor Layton's like newest game do so bad that they're like, what, maybe not do a sequel?
I don't think it really did bad. They haven't really done anything more with it.
I mean, I'd like to see a continuation of Professor Layton.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, hold on. I've got the obvious answer. Sit my ass back down. Yeah, obvious answer, guys. Yeah, Pokemon Coliseum. Obviously.
Coliseum.
By
3.
the way, here's the thing.
Did you know?
Like, okay, I haven't watched this video yet, but apparently, the developers of those games did not know anything about Pokemon when they made them.
Like, I've seen a little bit of Coliseum. How do they not know?
Well, at the time, Pokemon wasn't that big. You got to remember that
Fair.
Coliseum came out
What?
during Gen 3.
Yeah, I was 3.
Pokemon wasn't that big yet. There were a lot of people who still didn't know what Pokemon was back then. But the developers had very little idea about the franchise as a whole.
Yeah. We got to 500 encounters, still nothing.
And
I have to say, for people who have absolutely no idea what Pokemon is, they did a very good job of making a great Pokemon game.
Now, I've seen a little bit of Coliseum. What makes Coliseum good? Is it the battling system?
You've seen a little bit.
I've seen maybe the first 5 minutes. I've not played it. We have not played it. I thought you had Coliseum scheduled. Oh. I was thinking Stadium.
It's like, I'm like, what the fuck you talking about, man? It's the second game you fucking played. What are you talking about?
I'm tired. I was up till 2 in the morning last night.
I was dumbfounded. I'm like, what in the actual fuck
Yes,
is he
I would
talking
love
about?
a third. I was thinking
No.
Stadium.
No, Pokemon Stadium and Stadium 2 are, from what I understand, just battling simulators. That's it.
But yes, I would love a third Pokemon Coliseum game.
Oh my god.
Now, we did get a sequel,
yeah.
but why isn't it that no one has, got the rights to it and just continued? I mean, Niantic is the closest thing we got so far.
The reason is because Nintendo is Nintendo. You can also emulate the Game Boy Pokemon games on Stadium 1 and 2. Yeah, but otherwise they are just basically a battle simulator, right?
Oh, you can?
Apparently.
If that's possible, we should try that. That way we don't have to,
Yeah, what do you mean by that, Mr. B? As in,
original Gen 1 is inside Pokemon Stadium and fully playable? Or just, you can battle the trainers in the same order? Like, you can battle the gym leaders? I have no idea. I've got to admit, I have no idea what this means. I mean, I have the...
Yeah, we have the emulator. What are we talking about?
Well, yeah, but I have the,
Yeah, the Game Boy connector.
Yeah, I have the
Super Game Boy, but,
again, I can emulate them better on PC.
It's true.
If you have gold, you can put it in the transfer pack and use Stadium 2 to play Pokemon Gold.
The transfer pack.
Do you have that?
I don't know.
Let me look.
Who knows? Maybe it might be a better emulation than what we have. Because the one problem with emulating it on PC is we can't have any hope of trading up those Pokemon. It doesn't feel like I'm actually getting the Pokemon.
I mean, you're not getting them even if they're on.
I know, but
Well, okay.
I'm just saying, when we end a really old Pokemon series, I don't get to keep any of those Pokemon that I collected.
And that's true.
At least in that game. Like, I would like on my own time to beat Pokemon Yellow and catch everything I can.
Right, but again, as stated, I vaguely remember having it, but I can't find it, so I might have lost it.
So you do have it.
Unclear. I can't find it. So.
Gold, silver, and crystal.
Interesting. But anyways,
But yeah, I'm just saying I want to be able to record the game I play, and I get to take my cartridge and say, yep, I beat this game, I have all the Pokemon I can.
Yeah.
But playing on PC, it feels like I can't do that. It feels like those Pokemon were worthless, and that's why I don't go around catching more Pokemon and evolving them, because it's like I can't keep them.
As a reminder, guys, it is not technically not impossible to trade Pokemon between Gen 2 and Gen 3. It is just impractical.
It's very hard to do.
Yeah. As in, somebody made a video about how they created a Gen 2 to Gen 3 transfer device. And it does work, but again, you have to remember that Pokemon between Gen 2 and Gen 3 was structurally rewritten. So, it takes quite a bit to do.
So it's possible, just
Very impractical.
takes very, very long.
Yes.
But yeah, one day, guys, we'll be able to, I don't know, get a Katsukitty 3DS or something, and I'll be able to Shiny Hunt and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for you. Like, I might do that in emulation, because here's the thing. I know how to action replay a 3DS game. I've done it. I know how to code in the Pokemon. So what we could do is Shiny Hunt and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and I action replay me the Pokemon. Like, give it all the same stats, the same level. I can do it. But I feel like that's going to be a lot of work. Yeah, let me know, guys. Should I Shiny Hunt and Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon? Because I want to. But, again, it would take me to action replay those Pokemon for me to keep them.
Okay, this is hilarious. Apparently, 10 hours ago, Sega had to confirm that their official Sonic Frontiers art is not fan-made.
Huh.
So they had to confirm it.
By the way, which one's the broken game? Sonic Boom on the Wii U or on the DS?
Wii U.
What sucks is that's the one we're going to play.
Yes.
Because easier to record. I mean, we could emulate the 3DS version. I mean, is the 3DS version any different than the Wii U version? Because that is crucial.
I don't know.
Because there are just some LEGO games that are not the same on the DS that it is console. It might have the same story, but it plays... The levels are different. Sorry, guys. I'm still very, very ticked off that I told my parents one year to get me LEGO Batman on console, on non-handheld consoles, and they were like, okay, I understand. What they do? Get me LEGO Batman 2 on the DS. I still haven't replaced it. I'll probably replace it when we play it for the channel. We've done Lego Batman 1 and 3. I know we skipped 2, but I don't think I have 2 coming up anytime soon. I mean, 3 didn't do that well. 1 did really good. But I'm not in a hurry to play 2. Plus, we can't play a lot of Lego games right now because I still have 2 Lego games I have to import from my old channel. So, basically all Lego games are on hold for now.
Sorry guys, I am reading I'm reading stuff on
Upcoming,
political tax or political
Debates.
no, upcoming laws being
passed.
Yeah, so do you think we'll ever have a Coliseum 3?
no. 2 main reasons. One, the company who currently
Or who made those games is like,
I know it's disbanded or
it's
whatever.
not even this disbanded. It's just that they do completely different things right now.
and they don't have the same number of staff. Like, so that company could not make it. But 2, it's not, no other company could make it either because Nintendo is Nintendo and they are insanely restrictive on who can and cannot make games for their series.
I mean, get the people who made Snap.
Yeah, you've got to understand, the only reason the new Pokemon Snap happened was because Namco Bandai did it. Because they help make Smash and other games for Nintendo, so they have the pull to say, yeah, the fans really like this game. You would make a lot of money.
Yeah, so
We should make
do you
this.
think Bandai Namco would do Coliseum
They are
3?
the only company who could conceivably do it.
I
And
mean-
I do not foresee it. Look, I was shocked when Pokemon Go actually got Shadow Pokemon in. So, you know, if Nintendo allowed that, it's not impossible, but I'd say it's very, very, very unlikely.
So you think we'd get a Snap 3 than a Coliseum 3?
I think it's more likely we would get a sequel to Pokemon Snap than Pokemon Coliseum.
Yeah, I sadly can't
I-
agree. But
I'm trying to think of other games that are more likely.
I would love to see Bandai Namco try a Coliseum game.
Yeah. Again, I would love to see Nintendo heavily relax their policies on who can and cannot make their games and use their franchises. Because there are some excellent franchises that would make a lot of money if Nintendo
Allowed it.
let up the reins a little bit. Yeah. That's the big problem, is it was toned up, it was... Yeah, I'll agree with that, Mr. B. It was aimed at an older audience, but the people who like it are the kids who played it. Who are now the older audience.
Yeah.
So, it's like, yeah, now people greatly love those games. It's the same thing with Wind Waker. Because you have to remember that Wind Waker was hated when it came out. Everyone thought that Wind Waker was terrible. Nowadays, it's one of the highest games in the entire franchise. But at the time, everyone was like, what is with this cartoony shit? Get it out of here.
Like, I don't think the cartoon aesthetic was the problem with that game. The problem with that game was, It wasn't. I want to say the worst thing might have been the grapple.
Yeah, but
At the time,
Like perspective.
Yeah.
Perspective was their issue.
yeah, but at the time, people hated it for the cartoon aesthetic. That's why people hated it.
I didn't even know people
Yeah,
hated it.
why is the boat so slow is also part of the problem.
I mean,
They added the swift sail, and the boat still feels slow. Like, I don't understand why they didn't make the... They should have had the swift sail be the default sail, and then added a double swift sail.
like,
It still feels slow.
I understand that, but it's a boat.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a motor boat.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. Those were great games, but the financials they were looking for did not come to pass. But then again, neither did Pokemon Snap.
Like, of course, I don't know actually how big Pokemon Snap was. Let me look that up.
oh, I'm gonna bet it destroyed.
No,
It
I mean
was
Snap 1.
Oh, Snap 1. I was gonna say it destroyed sales when it got its sequel.
Yeah, no, new Pokemon Snap did so well, and people were asking for it for years.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what games I just absolutely hated playing. Like, unfortunately, I don't want to say it, but Sly Cooper was kind of high. I did not have fun during Sly Cooper. And it's so hard for me to say that. It breaks my heart. I'm hopeful his sequels are better. But anyways,
Apparently, it sold over 1.5 million copies, but like,
Again, it's a Pokemon game.
for a Pokemon game to only sell 1.5 million copies, that's pretty
yeah,
much a failure.
think about that. SpongeBob did better than Snap. It
Yeah.
sold over 2 million.
Yeah.
But still, that says a lot.
Yeah. But that's the point. Those games at the time sold 1.5 million copies plus.
And they didn't make a sequel for it for over 20 years.
By the way, guys, going back to 100 Fights, the same company did make another Scooby-Doo game. It's the one I have on the schedule right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's they're completely unrelated.
They are. But still, it's like, same people. Might be good. Like, guys, like, I think SpongeBob the game is still... It's not just as good as Battle Bikini Bottom. I do have problems with it, but they're minor problems. I think it's a decent game. Is it like the best SpongeBob game I ever played? No.
Yeah.
Probably in the top 5, but
Now look at this one. Here, look at this. Look at this for a second.
oh yeah.
So again, remember,
Pokemon Snap, 20 years to have a sequel.
1.5 million copies.
Pokemon Coliseum,
A game that, again, Mr. B just said,
was considered not well received.
it sold over 1.15
million copies. It was the highest selling RPG on the GameCube. It was the best RPG on their console. And that was a failure.
What?
Yeah, that, again,
The original Pokemon game sold over 20 million copies. This is a failure in comparison.
because people don't, it's not the same market.
Apparently not.
This was the thing that happened you've got to remember, this is the same kind of thing that happened with all RPGs. For a long time, Square Enix and the other like major RPG, Square Enix is basically the biggest RPG maker. It only had 2 successful games. I mean, Mr. B, you're right, but that's not really the GameCube's fault. Like, the GameCube came out alongside the PS2. every console failed in comparison.
What disappoints me is we played Barnyard on the PS2, and that was
But
a
also,
poor
there
game.
wasn't. I will admit there wasn't a lot on the GameCube either.
Guys,
It's not the GameCube.
if I could beg you to play any old game on the PS2 or GameCube, play Barnyard.
Yeah.
It is a really, really decent open world game. That, like, I want to bet it was one of the first open world games. I fucking loved it.
Yeah, again, here we go. XD. Also, commercial success. Sold over 1 million copies.
It did slightly worse than...
Yeah, and again, they don't give precise sales numbers, so we don't really know which game sold more. They vaguely sold about the same, but none of them sold anywhere near 20 to 30 million copies. Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair, Mr. B, it's not like they've changed that policy. They still want their console to be 4 games only, or at least 4 games very much primarily.
But yeah, there's a reason why I play a lot of movie games for the channel, because some of them are actually really good. Not all of them are just puzzle games. Because whenever I talked to my friends about movie games, they're like, oh, no, I didn't play it. It's for kids. It's probably a lot of tricks and puzzles. It might not be. It's probably not that good. I'm like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I'd consider SpongeBob Battle Bikini Bottom as a movie game or TV show game.
Yep.
And it's one of the best.
Yeah. I will say, Genius Minority does still have the license for Pokemon. Because they made Troze. Or, they made one of the Troze games.
They
made Troze.
They made Battle Troze as well.
Yes. They also made Pokemon Shuffle, which was also just Pokemon Troze.
Cupid.
They also,
Shuffle is so good.
They
I
also
love it.
made Pokemon Cafe Mix.
Guys, we're not playing the 3DS version of Shuffle. We're playing the mobile one. Even though I should download the Shuffle one on 3DS. That way, if they take it down, I can still play that.
If the Wii hadn't came out before... If the Wii came out before PS3 and Xbox 360, it would not have had online multiplayer integration or interaction. That's possibly true. Well, here's the thing. The DS came out before the Wii, didn't it?
The DS?
That came out before the Wii.
Yes.
And it already had online. Because that was its selling feature, was online
did.
support. So, they actually might have still had online, but it's possible they could have forgone it, yes. I will agree with that. Like, yeah. I've said, I think that Nintendo, if this, I know this is impossible, but I would love to live in a universe where for like 5 years, Nintendo of Japan let Nintendo of America run the company. Because I guarantee you, in those 5 years, Nintendo would drastically be shifted in direction. Because Nintendo of America fully well knows that Nintendo of Japan is behind the times. Like, they're, like, the hilarious, so, there's been some YouTubers who have connections with Nintendo.
Yeah.
Through Nintendo of America. Sometimes they, like, in the past, when videos were hugely copyrighted by Nintendo, Nintendo of America would have to contact Nintendo of Japan and ask them to please stop taking down videos of their own, like, influencers, basically. They'd have to vouch for the YouTuber and be like, please stop claiming this video. Like,
yeah, and that was before we
Nintendo of America was fully aware of Nintendo of Japan's, like, bullshittery with copyright well before anyone else was. They're like, no, please stop.
But yeah,
But yeah, no. Nintendo... Nintendo would have a lot better of a company if they would make some very simple changes to how they make or how they handle their games. They don't have to be very much. But like I'm gonna try to say 3 major changes Nintendo could make that would just fundamentally change the entire gaming industry and their company in a way for the positive. 1, develop a PC service for retro games. And by retro games, I am saying any console 3 generations ago.
and you're wanting them maybe connecting to the handhelds?
Yes. They should take the Virtual Console and make it a PC and console compatible device, where you can buy a game on the Virtual Console.
They might if the patents expire.
What's what's their new current name for it?
What?
What's the Switch's version? What's their thing for like their retro games?
Retro?
Yeah.
Switch online membership.
Well, yeah, but don't they have a name for specifically the?
They
the
just
NES
call it
and...
the Genesis. Like,
Yeah. Okay, then I'll stick with Virtual Console. Take their Virtual Console, make it a permanent service where they sell you a game a single time, and then you can play it. That's it. They just sell it to you, and you own it.
yeah, you don't want to do the membership shit.
That's the... Yeah. Yeah, the NES library. Yeah, so it's a stupid name.
I mean, they're finally doing Pokemon. They got the new... They just put the puzzle Pokemon game on there.
Yeah, but take that service. Here's the thing. Even if they did it as a membership, that's fine. If they want to do it the other way, where they say, pay us $10 a month, and you can have access to our entire back catalog. Do that. I don't care. I don't care how they do it. But make an online service, an online Virtual Console service, that can, instead of the Wii U has a Virtual Console, and the 3DS has a Virtual Console, and the Wii has a Virtual Console, and the Switch has a Virtual Console, and they're all completely separate. Make one single service, that is, the Virtual Console, and have the consoles be able to connect to that service and play games from that service.
Do you think they're going to upgrade the membership where it's going to be the Wii and Wii U on the Switch?
Yeah, exactly, Mr. B. The whole, you buy the Wii Virtual Console version and then have to re-buy it for the Wii U. It's like, no, fuck your shit. Anyways, ask your question again.
Do you think they're going to emulate Wii and Wii U on Switch?
No.
I mean, they can do it easily.
It's not about can they. Nintendo wants you to play their new console, but they don't want to ruin the resale value of their games for some reason. So, N64 is the newest one on this system for a reason. They don't like to go back more than, like, 4 console generations.
Well, here's the thing. So, they could do it. I do... Oh, shit, I forgot where I was going with it. The Wii...
Because, like, Nintendo
Well, okay.
has...
The Wii and Wii U, you can still play those games. Like, you don't have to download anything. However, there are some games with DLC.
Yes. So, but yeah. So, anyways. Getting back to the thing I was talking about. Yeah, that's true. That they could do. But yeah. The...
Motherfucker.
Nintendo at least understands, on some level, that games...
I couldn't see that message. I clicked off.
They're willing to port over games from the Wii U. Like, saying, remember how you didn't buy this game, pay $59.99 to buy it? But that's not the same thing.
Like putting them on the eShop.
That's putting them on the eShop. Like, there's... Nintendo understands that, like, hey, games a console generation or two back, people will still buy for full price. But they also have some understanding that, hey, games that are 4 console generations back, games that are like Balloon Hunt, or the Balloon game, Duck Hunt,
Yeah, all of them.
Pokemon Snap, no one can play those anymore. Because finding them is almost impossible. And finding the consoles are difficult. And getting them to work on modern hardware is difficult. So on some level, they understand that if you go back far enough, it's near impossible to get. Like, I'm fine if they want to say 4 console generations back. But I'm saying...
But does it have a physical copy on Switch?
Yeah, no. Digital only. Well, some might have physical copies, but most of them are digital only.
Yeah, and that's where I'm
So-
like, no.
But that's the thing. Nintendo understands that those old games are extremely scarce, and they constantly complain about their piracy problems. Well, here's the thing, Nintendo. If you... Oh, all those are physical? There are also ones that are digital only, so...
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Duck Hunt, I can understand.
Yeah, I know Tropical Freeze you can get.
Yeah, is Duck Hunt on Switch?
I don't know if it's on the Switch. I think it was on one of the old virtual consoles.
I got it for the Wii U just in case it wasn't on Switch.
I keep forgetting New Super Luigi U is a different game. I keep thinking that's DLC for New Super Mario U. No longer works for anything ever.
Yeah.
But like they fundamentally understand that old games are scarce, and they also have a problem with with people pirating their games. And they look at both of these problems and are like, nope, I don't see any way to resolve those problems. When there's a very easy way to resolve those problems. It's called have a service for it. It is and isn't. I don't even know if Nintendo knows whether it's DLC or not. Mr. B, you're making me sad.
But yeah,
Because people would stop... Here's the thing. Fundamentally, people would stop emulating Nintendo's games. Like, all their old Nintendo 64 and back games. If they made a service that housed them forever. Because people would buy them. And play them.
they could do it on the Switch.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you put it on the Switch, now it's Switch locked. If they make it a separate service, it's not console locked. Again, if they want to do it as a subscription service, that's fine. I would be willing to pay $10 a month for every game, Nintendo 64 and back, in Nintendo's entire library.
Yeah, and we don't have the entire library yet on Switch. But I think they might be working towards that.
Your Wii U is bundled with it and they're on separate discs. Yeah, I think they're supposed to be different games, but I don't understand how that's possible. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. And it sounds like it doesn't make sense to anyone. But yeah, so it's like, that is step number 1. If they want to completely upend the entire gaming industry with one decision, it's make a virtual console service and make that service either subscription or pay once, and that will kill a huge amount of piracy and give them a huge amount of revenue from old game sales. If there's any decision they should make, it's this one. Because it makes financial sense for them to do it. Like, but they won't do it. It's like...
Yeah, and the thing about us is it's, with older games, like, we don't necessarily have the capability to play a lot of the older games on the older consoles anymore, because a lot of your older consoles are broke. My PS2 finally broke after like 10 years.
Yep.
And yours is still going. But, yeah, like, guys, we have a rule that we pretty much have to own the physical copy before we play a game on the channel.
Well, here's the thing. I don't. It's not necessarily we have to own the physical copy, but we have to own the game. Like, there's only been a couple times in the entire history of our channel where I didn't physically own the game before playing it. All of which I believe have been completely resolved because I do actually own every game we have on the channel now. And obviously that's not including like free-to-play games or stuff that like you don't buy.
Free-to-play games and mods.
Yeah, and like, but like every game we've emulated, I own the game, every single one. Some of the games, like I have the official emulators for some of the games. Like we've tried recording with the GameCube.
Yeah, with
Game Boy Advance emulator.
With Hamtaro.
Yeah, we played that game on their first episode with that emulator, and then we replayed it on the PC because the emulator was a better. The PC emulation was better.
So yeah, guys, we did try to play Game Boy Advance games on console. It's just
I'm pretty sure I have the Game Boy emulator too, the one for Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
The like Super Nintendo Game Boy player where you can put the cartridge in. I'm pretty sure I own that one too. It's like I could even emulate those games. That just would suck.
Yeah. I want to own the console and the physical game.
Well, the problem is there are many games that don't have physical. So
I don't think we can say.
Well, I want to do a majority.
Yeah, it's a nice goal, but like, yeah, there's some games that just don't have physical, so you can't own it.
Like talking about older games, Operation Genesis. That is apparently one of the rarest PlayStation 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Okay, guys.
It's been an hour. Internet's screwing up a little bit. I'm gonna run the first ad, and we'll be right back. And hopefully the internet will be better by then.
Again, there's nothing that should be causing this.
No. I'll attempt to help out by...
Yeah, and I can't disconnect my phone from the internet, then we wouldn't have a counter.
Yeah.
And I can't disconnect it from